It's with a sad heart that I say that Coach G is gone after one season with the Packers, and in comes a hard, disciplined coach. She's ready to get down to the bottom of things. She's ready to make sure everybody is on time, on ready, and knows their assignment. I can't wait to see this regime, but let's get to the real stuff. And I'm sorry to tell you all this, but the Bears did not make the playoffs. Green Bay, we already knew, didn't, but the Bears didn't. They were one win away. You got to think, if you beat the Detroit Lions in that last game, you would have made it, man. But now we got to go look into the offseason. And before we do that, we got to see what's going on here. So the Buffalo Bills won the Super Bowl. We don't care about any of that other stuff. MVP Josh Allen, congratulations. But Gilchrist Kwanzaa with the Rookie of the Year. Congratulations, Gilchrist. You did what you had to do. And when you look at these stats, I mean, look, rookie seasons for the NFL. You have Gilchrist Kwanzaa with the Bears leading in passing yards and in passing touchdowns for a season as a rookie. And James McCaskey's up there too in receptions. That's crazy for the Bears organization, at least. That's crazy. This is only for the Bears organization. I don't believe it is for totality. And then if you go to the Packers, you see Mitchell holds the lead for the rookie passing yards and the rookie passing touchdowns for the Packers. No one else makes the list. I mean, come on. No one else really had that good of an offensive season. Of course, they're not going to make the list on rookie games, except for Mitchell, who had 350 in one game. And then look at this. I told you I was going to give you all the stats, right? 47 sacks for Gilchrist. I wonder how much. 80 sacks. 80. The second highest was 54. Gilchrist was the 10th most sacked. So, come on. That means we got to go in here and we got to sign our O-line immediately. Sign the O-linemen that we know are good, and then we'll handle the rest. So, looking at our signings right now, because, look, I should just let y'all just watch this and have me just talk around it. You see the Bears getting their signings in. What do they need to focus on? Well, if you're Green Bay, you got to focus on protecting the quarterback. That's number one. And then everything else is number two, if we're being honest. Everything else is number two at this point. We need to focus on protecting Mitchell. That's probably priority number one. And then for the Bears, I don't even know what to do. I'm going to be honest. The Bears were good enough to make the playoffs this season. The Bears got in their own way. I would say maybe a decent running game, a good running game could really get you going here and really make you the player and the team, the player in this league that you want to be and be a real threat. Because that's what Healy's all about. He's about that running game centric team. And I think he can do that, with what he's got. He just may need to add another piece to the mix. But you could see the players that we're trying to sign, that we're looking at signing for each team, how we're going to make these guys better. So y'all just look in the background while I speak. I don't really know what to make of much of anything that we're doing in the offseason. The free agency class is trash, and no one wants to come to Green Bay. I'm going to be honest. Nobody wants to come to Green Bay. Look at this. No one wants to come anywhere, man. No, Green Bay, no. People who we try to get back to Green Bay didn't want to come to Green Bay. No one wants to be here. And barely anybody really signed for the Chicago Bears. So, I mean, free agents don't want to come here. And when free agents don't want to come to the JPDL experiment, where do they go? They go to the draft. But it's time to expect the unexpected, all right? If you guys don't remember from episode 2, before we even started playing a game, I gave this sheet out to all the members of the draft, told them to fill it out. And I said, look, man, whoever wins this, whoever gets the most points gets to choose to either force a 1-for-1 trade for the JPDL only, same position, give 4 overall points out to whoever they want to on their team, or upgrade themselves to an SSX Factor. Now, we don't know the real reports. There's rumors going around as to who exactly won the bet, but the results are in. I'm going to be honest. I was shocked when I saw what this person did, and I think more information will come out later, but what they did was they traded Ahmad Montague and Ethan Bigbie. So I think we can right it off the bat say that this wasn't a member of the Green Bay Packers. I think we can say right now it wasn't a member. This was definitely a Chicago Bear who did this. I think more information will come out in the future, but for right now, Ahmad's now a Packer and Ethan is now a Bear. Man, that's crazy. Looking at the mock drafts, that's got to change a couple of things, but this, unfortunately, mock draft came out after or before the whole Ethan and, Ahmad thing. So you see Taylor Lynch, a running back that, is really high up there, a running back that actually won the Heisman in Oregon last season. We're definitely going to have to look into that. Tim Riddick, defensive tackle. I mean, I mean, this mock draft is cool and all, but at the end of the day, things always change at the draft time. They always do. And you got to be ready for that. Honestly, Amari White being the top quarterback in the draft, it's definitely something to look out for if you are Green Bay. Maybe you make a play. You have 3 first-round picks. Why not use one of them? Why not trade one of them and a player? Get yourself Amari White. Another guy, Andy Kavanaugh, round 1 to 2 pick that we can probably get later in the rounds. That's someone you got to look at. Andy Kavanaugh is someone you definitely got to look at. Taylor Lynch, like I said, this is the Heisman winner last year in Oregon. Got to look into that guy. You see people like look at this. B, ball carrier vision, A, break tackle. This is somebody who I would have said Chicago would have desperately gone after with how bad their running game was. Maybe Green Bay go after it. Cam Moore, starting wide receiver for Ohio State. Terrence Andrews, 6'9" wide receiver out of Oklahoma. These are players. And look, the Bears won them. These are players that we really need to look into if we are the Bears, if we are the Green Bay Packers, and we want to make a difference after seeing a terrible free agent class. Wow, this guy can't run routes, but he can block. After a terrible free agent class, you get somebody in here who, kind of has to play on your team. You know what I'm saying? Has to. Brock Ferguson, you see he runs a great 40 time, but D catching, that's not going to get it done. 4.24 speed. You kind of want to think about it, but then you see the F medium route running, C short, A deep, D catching ability, C release. Not the greatest. This is an offensive line draft. I'm going to be honest. I looked at this the entire time. Amari White, obviously the quarterback one you want to have. If it looks like the Saints are going to be steadfast and they're going to take their guy in Amari White. This guy looks like a true baller coming out of Cincinnati. But this is a high. And look at the Andy Kavanaugh. Like I said, Kavanaugh, all A's in the, oh my God, yo. Now, he's not a mobile quarterback by any means, but he has A's in every accuracy stat. And then Taylor Lynch, right here, first in the 40 time at a 4.2. Oh my God. Look at these stats. Oh my God. You got to think, this is the running back that I would have said Coach Healy would dream of having, man. He loves that historic running game. And then going to Cam Moore, really talented wide receiver product coming out of the Ohio State, which means you can trust him. You can trust him. A 4.4 speed. He's going to have solid speed. A catching traffic, A catching, A release, A spec catch. He's just not good deep route running. And we put our scouted players here for, I believe that is, I don't know. I want to say that's for Chicago. So the other one was for Green Bay. But now let's get into the draft class, man. Let's get into what we've all been waiting for. Who knew is going to be on this team and really make an impact? You go to round 1, pick one. You already know who that's going to be. It's going to be Amari White in them. You see all the draft talent here, as we've shown it millions of times. And look at the scout. He's a top 5 prospect. He's a round 1 to 2. Cam Moore is a round 1 to 2 prospect. But Taylor Lynch, Heisman Trophy winner, top 5 prospect. Left tackle Kevin Teague is a top 5 prospect. Even Jason Hicks, who Green Bay did some scouting on, is a first round prospect. And the 6'9" guy is a day 3 man. So that kind of hurt a little bit. And look at Marquez Banks in the running back category. Something you might want to keep an eye out for later on when you need it. But I'm really going to like to see where these guys go. Round 1, pick 4. You see Green Bay is on the clock. And the first thing that they said was to protect the guy in the center, Mitchell Daigle. And that's what they're going to do with Kevin Teague, left tackle out of Miami. This guy was a top prospect in the league, as we saw in the scouting report. You got to give Kevin Teague a shout if you are the Green Bay Packers. And you got to give some protection to that blind side if you're Mitchell Daigle, who had 80 sacks on the year. Now we go to Chicago's pick at round 8. And Healy wants to do everything in his power to take Taylor Lynch. But at the same time, you have Mikel and you just got Ethan Bigby. Do you need a third running back in that mix? Or do you go Cam Moore, who, you've been looking at getting a wide receiver? So why not go ahead and pick up a guy like Cam Moore who can do things for you with Chris and Tyler Geraldo. Okay, they got themselves a left tackle too. I told you this was an O-line heavy draft. Tyler Geraldo definitely was a guy coming out of Oklahoma State University who can play. And with Gilchrist, you can never have too many offensive linemen, man. You can never have too many O-linemen. Green Bay with the round 1, 10th pick. You're looking at Cam Moore. You think Fitzgerald, Mark Luther, Cam Moore has a chance to be one of the greatest wide receivers in terms of height in that team. And then the left guard position, get yourself some help. Get Mitchell some more protection. You can never go wrong with Moore. But what do? You shock the world and you go with Taylor Lynch, Heisman-winning running back. Now with Ahmad Montague in that running core, maybe Coach B's looking at it and she's saying, look, we're not sure, man. We're not sure. Coach B's looking at it and she's like, look, we got Ahmad, but do we really love him? Or do we go with this guy who is a clear presence and, can run the ball really, really damn good? So you go Chicago Bears, and they're instantly looking at trading their pick. Think they were high on Lynch, and because, Packers got him, they let him go. They let him go. They let this pick go. So they get 2 first-round picks from Atlanta with a 4th rounder and a 7th rounder. That looks like a good deal if you're Chicago. I think Chicago's already in a prime position. And now round 1, pick 17, I think you go with somebody who you kind of knew you were getting in the first place. You go with someone who you scouted. Cam Moore, round 1 to 2 prospect, can help complementary football to Chris Diaz and James Ball. He is a great catcher of the football. Ohio State University prodigy. You got to give it to him. You got to give him an option. Gilchrist needs more weapons. We saw Mike Thomas out there. Let's see Cam Moore out here. And I'm going to be honest, because I've said this a million times already about being honest with y'all. Cam Moore, I don't know how much burn you're going to get here, but I do believe in this prospect. But the Moore jersey looks ugly, man, because DJ. It just looks ugly. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish it was a better last name. And then Green Bay on the clock. 31st pick in the first round. Do you even take anybody if you're Green Bay? I mean, who do you take? You're going to be overshooting anything. No, so you're going to just go ahead and just trade down. You see Arizona Cardinals, they're offering you a 1st-round pick and a 4th-round pick next year. Cardinals pick is probably going to be better than the 31st pick this year. Might as well do it. Plan ahead. And then Green Bay again with this 4th pick in the 2nd round. They're trying to trade. Why? I don't know. I think they can get their guy at the end of this whole thing. I think they can get their guy at the end if they wait a little bit longer. I know who that guy is, okay? I know who that guy is, and what I'm going to say is Mitchell should be worried. Because what we saw, Andrew Kavanaugh, with all those A's and all those accuracy stats, could be crucial. And while the Chicago Bears draft D linemen, because why not? They don't really need much on offense. Green Bay goes back to trading. They just go back to trading. 2nd round pick 23. They think they can get their quarterback later. They think they could potentially get their quarterback in the 3rd round. Why not try it? So that's what the Green Bay Packers are going to do, looking around, looking for picks. And they finally find an offer they like, the 2nd round pick this year, a 3rd round next year, and a 7th round next year. Why not do it? They have the 64th pick. As long as Andrew Kavanaugh is there, they're set to go. Patriots aren't taking a guy. They got Dre May. And oh my God. Green Bay. Beach, what are we doing, Coach B? What is she doing? You got to get your guy when you have the opportunity to. That's the exact prospect you want to put behind Mitchell to give him a little bit of sweat, man, to give him a little bit of fear that his job is on the line. Now what do? You're going to panic and you're going to take Sergio Arrucia out of UCF? This is what we're doing? We're taking a 6'5" scrambling quarterback? Is that the plan here? Are we taking Clyde Hampton? Are these guys going to really rival Daigle in camp? Are these guys really going to rival Daigle in preseason ball? Andrew Kavanaugh could have done that. Kansas State prospect. Instead, you go with Arrucia, or you go with Coleman, or you go with Castillo, or you go with all these bums. I mean, you got to go Arrucia if you're picking a quarterback. Scrambler, 6'5". He does look like, I'm going to be honest, shows flashes of Gilchrist. A, short accuracy, B, medium, B, deep. So there's a little bit of flashes, and that's who they do take. They take Sergio Arrucia. And while they do that, the Cardinals out here on social media claiming future star Andy Kavanaugh will be a difference maker, man. Just rubbing it in the face of the Green Bay Packers. And then Green Bay Packers, another 3rd round pick. And this is where they decide you can't teach 6'9". You can't. At the wide receiver position, who can run block, which is exactly what Coach B is going to want to do with her new unit here in Green Bay. Yeah, I think you take Terrence Andrews, even though he is a day 3 guy in skill set, even though he can't run a route to save his life, he can catch. And at 6'9", Give him an opportunity, man. Give him an opportunity. So let's look at these draft classes for Chicago. They got themselves an 80 overall left tackle. That's always good to get. And a 77 overall wide receiver, Cam Moore. Both of them have hidden abilities. We don't know what they got yet. They could prove to be viable options here. But Cam Moore, I'm excited about. And then on Green Bay, oh no. Left tackle Kevin Teague is amazing. But Taylor Lynch is an 83 overall running back out the gate. And Ahmad's a 77. And look at Arusha, 74. There's a lot to be worried about if you're Ahmad. So here's a sum up of the draft classes for Green Bay. They got 4 good guys in the first 3 rounds. And then I'm only doing the offense. So Chicago, they got 2 guys here. And then they also got a couple of defensive players. My favorite to look out for is obviously Taylor Lynch from Green Bay. I think he's going to be amazing. And now let's look at the overalls for the players. I mean, Mitchell, 80. Gilchrist, it says 82. I changed it to an 83, all right? It convinced me. Rookie of the Year player. He's got to be an 83 overall. Look, I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know that this was what was going to happen until after I made these. But Ahmad, now a Green Bay Packer, he's going to be a 77. Meanwhile, Ethan Bigby, he's going to be a 79. Not the greatest running backs last season, but I'm sure they'll be better this year. Fitzgerald's going to be a 79 for the Green Bay Packers. Chris Diaz, an 81. And Chris obviously deserves to be higher than Fitzgerald. He put on a way better performance. Mark with a 78, and we got James Ball with an 80. Look, I'm being honest. I'm being consistent here, okay? Not everyone's just going to jump up. We're going to have to earn our ratings. Pat Tyler being a 78 and James McCaskey being 81 right up there with Chris. I thought it was fair. Less than Gilchrist, but obviously him and Chris put up similar, type great seasons. And then the gadget guys, he got a 78 from Nick Mills. I think he did good, but at the end of the day, his yards were a lot lower than expected. And the McKell, 77, I think he would tell you he deserves that. And now this is going to be a last-minute add-on. Look, I decided to show you some of preseason's final game just so y'all can get a glimpse of what we're looking at with the new offenses just a little bit. So we got this what I call the best drive of Green Bay's preseason game for Mitchell Daigle and the crew. As you see, just getting a little hint of what we're getting from Ahmad as a running back for the Green Bay Packers. Showing some vision. 7 rushes for 37 so far on that game. You didn't get to see any other runs, but he was showing a little bit of elusiveness, a little bit of burst of speed. Mitchell's showing a little bit of burst of speed under this new beat your ball way of offense. So it's going to be interesting. 1st and 10 right here. You see 22 making the read, finding the outside player. Fitzgerald picking up 5. It's going to be really, really nice to see how Ahmad fits into the scheme around here, along with, Heisman Trophy winner Taylor Lynch, who we didn't really see much play in the preseason. Guess they might be saving him. Don't know what it is. But then a 1st and goal right here at the 3-yard line. You see an outside run by Ahmad. He turns the corner. He's going to get there. This is what we need to see in Green Bay. And golly, Ahmad in green looks so good. I'm trying to hype us up, man, okay? I got to hype up my players. I got to hype up my dogs, okay? Ahmad might be maybe a guy who you could say is on resurgence alert. And then we're going to show you another drive. Not really a drive, more of a play right here. 1st and 10, 44-yard line. You got Mark making people miss, going to the outside and going to take it in for a touchdown, showing a bit more speed than we're used to. That overall must be the reason. And then we got Sergio Arusha coming in the 4th quarter. Let's see what he can do here, okay? He's definitely a raw prospect at a UCF, but look at the wheels, man. He has some wheels. 6'5", 200 and something pounds. He can do something for the team right here. Look, on the run, looking, throwing. He's going to be Mills. You got to catch that, man. Arusha, one thing I will say is he can make plays, man. He can make a lot of plays right here. Look, another one on the run, throwing on the run. Weird throwing motion. Definitely going to have to learn from the quarterback coach and get him a real throwing guy to really fix that arm throw because it's weird. But look at this running. Nah, he's going to jump off one leg and try to throw. If this guy ever starts on the team, oh, God help the Green Bay Packers, man. 31-17. We're going to show you a little bit of the final drive of the game for Green Bay under Sergio. And then right here, look at this. Just throwing it. I'm seeing a little bit of Patrick Mahomes. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just saying. He's throwing weird throws, weird angles, weird running throws. I don't even know. And then right here, gets the 1st down on the 4th and 2. Not that it really matters. This is preseason game. But then Sergio looking. He's going to chuck to the end zone. Because why not, Sergio? Okay, man. I'm not going to say that we're going to, just give him the keys to the Green Bay kingdom, but Sergio had some arm talent there. And now we're going to go to Green Bay. I mean, not Green Bay, Chicago. And we're going to show you the new look Chicago Bears with Cam Moore, with Ethan Bigbie. Right here, Ethan Bigbie getting his first run of the game, running for like 7 yards. And this we're going to just show the first drive of the game, and then maybe some extra little clips here and there. 3rd and 9 right here. You see Gilchrist on the run. He's going to throw on the run, and it just looks too easy. McKell in his new role. Really going to be played more as a wide receiver, I heard. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's what we heard. And then look at this dot to Chris Diaz, getting back to that 1,100-yard receiver ways. And then on 3rd and 7, Gilchrist looking. He has nobody to throw it to. And finally, he does throw it up. He's going to give James Ball a chance. And that's always going to be 7 when you give James a chance, man. Give him a chance. Now we're going to show a second quarter, 3rd and 5 play right here, where Gilchrist, 5 wide, has space to move. He needs it. He gets a little trapped. But then once he gets trapped, he gets gone. 40, the 30, the 25, the 20. This is what we're going to need to see. We're going to need to see big runs like that. And then another one right before halftime, 3rd and 6. You see you're backed up right here. Gilchrist looking. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be Cam Moore making a big play. That's what I want to see, and that number will change. It is not going to be 83. He wants to go back to his normal number 1. And then right here, 20 seconds left. The clock is ticking for Chicago, and it's going to be a draw play to Ethan for one of the bigger runs that we will see from Chicago. Ethan Bigbie, nothing but space. I can't wait to be yelling that all game long, every regular season. Chicago Bears football with Ethan Bigbie might be the most electric thing that we have seen in a minute. Man, oh man. If we get runs like that from Ethan, whoo, might see a resurgence for the Chicago Bears and his videos. Look, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you're going to catch Madden League videos. And next week, obviously, is going to be week 1. So let's get ready for a wild-packed, set of games, man. Set of games. Let's get this season going. JPML.